Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Wrong Turn 2 Dead End. I think it's Wrong Turn 2 Dead End anyway. They all have their mini subtitle names, but hopefully I got that right. So yeah, Wrong Turn 2. Like I said in my other review, Wrong Turn 1, forget about it, push that to the side, we're not going to care about Wrong Turn 1 at all now. But Wrong Turn 2, that's where it is at. Wrong Turn 2 was just the brilliant one in my opinion. The other ones were good as well, don't get me wrong, but Wrong Turn 2 was the best in my opinion. You have your opinions if you've seen the others, you might disagree with me, that is fine, but in my opinion Wrong Turn 2 was the best one, and I'm going to say why. First off, I like the idea of like the subplot, and that is it's going on around a game show where they have to survive in the woods. Didn't get every part of the rules of this, but of the show that was in. I would like to see the show in all fairness. If the show was there, I'd watch it now. I'm just saying, it sounds like a brilliant show. You know, they've got to survive in the woods, they've also got their radiation cars and stuff, it's like the end of the world sort of thing, that you've got to survive in your pairs. It's a good idea, I really like that idea, but hey, that's what you got. And for some reason on the backdrop they've decided they're going to film it in this place where the inbred cannibal hillbillies, say inbred cannibal hillbillies, inbred cannibal hillbillies are still hunting from the first one, along with, actually, their dad, which I found that was a bit funny, you know. But yeah, he's in this as too, and it just goes on from there really. You don't really need me to spell it out, because they're going to hunt people, people are going to fight back, and it's just going to spin off really. But it showed some very interesting bits, and that was more like from the monsters' point of view, because you got the one guy, and he is like the bulky ass, you know, army sergeant guy, and he's what you expect him to be. He looks like a badass, so you know he's going to be a badass, and he's a badass. And like I said, he ends up meeting their dad, and their dad is obviously a little bit deformed, I suppose. He seems to have one eye bigger than the other, and his beard needs a shave, but apart from that he's not too bad. And he goes dynamite fishing. That's his hobby. We all need one. Mine's doing this. I'm not doing good at it, but I'm doing it. And yeah, so he meets him, and he says, you know, he tells him about them, and then he says at the end, you know, oh, I can't leave my children, and that's when you know, ah, shit. And, you know, in a scuffle, the army guy wins the scuffle in all fairness, but so that was good. I'm happy the army guy won the scuffle. But yeah, then he leaves the thing, and then later, when they've captured two of the guys, and you know they're going to eat them because they are cannibals, and they did pretty much lock them in cages with skeletons and shit like that, so you know they're going to eat them. But hey, they tie it to this to the chair, only by the hands and feet with barbed wire, which is makes you cringe watching it. But so yeah, so they tie it to this thing, and it's a family around the table, and it was really weird. That is, I could take my hat off to the filmmaker at that point, well, the script writer, I suppose, because he came up with the idea. But and you know, they're not that different than your classic American family really, and that is, you know, they gather around the table to eat dinner. They even try to say grace. They try and say grace. They can hold hands and try and say grace in their own weird way, because you can't understand what they're saying. And it's just really weird, because I suppose it really hits home when you think about it, the fact that they're just like a normal family except they kill people. So, you know, and it was just very, very gets into your head a bit. I mean, I can still see the image now of them all gathered around the table with the one woman strapped to the chair, and that's really, really weird, the fact of, you know, they're just an average family who live in the woods and kill people. Not that average now I think about it, moving on. But yeah, like I said, the first one, I know we said we pushed this up, and I'm going to bring it back for this. The first one, as I said, it didn't have as much suspense and the gore wasn't up to par, but pushing it back. The second one, the gore was up to par. You know, it's a horror film, so you know there's going to be a bit of sexy stuff. The sexy stuff was up to par, and the little bit of suspense there is, because the suspense doesn't need to be there in all fairness. It's not a suspenseful film, it's just there to kill stuff, and it does that as well. So it does what it's meant to do. It's a great, great sequel. It's, like I said, my favourite one of the series, so it has to be said, and Wrong Turn 2 is the one to watch. And you don't even have to watch any of the others either. That's the beauty of the Wrong Turn films. You can watch any of them on their own. Without having seen the others, you'll get it. You'll know what's happening. So yeah, if you're going to watch any of them, because you can only afford one, or you're on Netflix or something, watch number 2. Number 2 is the best one in my opinion. But hey, and you know, my next video will be number 3. You might watch that and think, no, I'll see number 3 instead. But like I said, number 2, you are going to want to watch that one.